So there I was at my freshman semi-formal dance, slow dancing with my date back in 1992. And slow dancing right next to me was Steve McGuire, the senior class president. And he was dating a freshman at the time. And he sees me, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, are you Matt Sherwood?" And I said, yeah, that's me. And he said, "Hey, congratulations. I heard you just got elected sophomore class president." And I said, yeah, thanks. And he goes, "Hey, we should get together sometime in the next week or so. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about leadership." "All right, yeah, that sounds good." He said, "Yeah, I want to talk to you about leadership and, things like these styrofoam cups." "Okay. Yeah, styrofoam. It's not good for the environment. Yeah, we'll talk about that." Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This was my very first lesson in leadership at the freshman semi-formal dance. And I met with Steve about a week later. He was a graduating senior, and he met with me after school, and we spent about 2 hours. And he told me what it means to be a leader. He talked about things like styrofoam cups. Because as a leader, you have so many choices. And he talked about, the leaders are looking out for the little things when planning an event. Leaders, they leave no stone unturned in trying to put on the best possible event. And you have a choice. We could have gotten the paper cups. We could have gotten the plastic cups. But we got the styrofoam. And in the early 90s, it was pretty widely known that styrofoam was bad for the environment. It didn't biodegrade. So leaders are looking out for things like that. There's a great quote that I love, and it's, "Managers do things right. Leaders do the right thing." Good managers do things right. Leaders do the right thing. So when you're planning an event as a leader, you think about every possible thing that can happen. You want to plan for it. You want to find the best possible route for your event. Things like, what if it rains and we have people waiting outside? Maybe we should bring some umbrellas. What if we get a huge rush all at the same time? Hey, maybe we should have someone standing outside there directing people on which way to go. And what if our projector runs out of batteries? You know what? Maybe we should bring a few extra batteries. So Steve talked to me about all these things, that it's the little things that leaders do. They go above and beyond to put on the best possible events. Steve also talked to me about the importance of leaving a good impression as a leader. He talked to me about the art of the thank you note. Mm-hmm. That's right, the art of the thank you note. He said, "Matt, let me tell you something. I'm telling you, man, you're going to want to send a thank you note to the custodians that worked that event, the janitors, right?" And he was right. Those janitors cleaned up after us teenagers. We want to send them a thank you note. And he goes, "Yeah, Matt, maybe you want to send a thank you note to the principal for allowing you to have that room. And then maybe you want to send a thank you note to all the class advisors for helping you out. And maybe you want to send a thank you note to the DJ. I mean, you paid the DJ, but it's building that relationship." And he's right. Leaders send thank you notes. It's a very little thing that you can do, but it helps to build your relationships. And if you're going to hold multiple events, you want those people on your side. So the more that you can be nice to people, it will come back to you. So leaders, they do all the little things, and leaders leave a great impression. We talked for a long time that day, and those were two of the main things, the guts of what we talked about. But there was another lesson that I think is more important, and it was not even spoken. It was just through action. Steve went out of his way to help me as a new president. He went way out of his way. This is a graduating senior. He's about to leave the school in 2 weeks. What does he really care what happens at the school after he's gone? He's going to college. But he cared about making me a better president. He cared about sharing the knowledge that he's learned and giving me a lesson in leadership. great leaders have an innate desire and a hunger to bring out the best around them. It's just inside you. And you want to get the most out of people. You want to share your knowledge. You want the world to be a better place. I personally think that him reaching out to me was more important than anything he said. It made me feel special, it made me feel important, and it made me feel like he cared. And so throughout my life as a leader, I've always tried to bring out the best in every person that I come into contact with. By the way, now Steve, he's a high school teacher and a motivational speaker. He travels around mostly in the summertime to summer camps, and he talks to kids about being the best that they can be. Steve McGuire. So I'll ask everyone in this audience tonight, do you have a Steve McGuire in your life? Ever met someone like Steve? You want to be a good leader? We all came to Toastmasters. Almost everyone came here to improve their public speaking, right? Communication. You want to get better at public speaking. But for a leader, communication is just a tool. You came here and you didn't realize you're becoming a leader. Toastmasters, where leaders are made. That's our motto. Not Toastmasters public speaking. There's a greater goal of being able to influence people. And when you have communication as a skill in your arsenal, and you are a good public speaker, you can influence large communities and make a difference, like Steve. So I'll ask everyone, is there someone in your life that you could give a lesson in leadership to? Maybe you could be a Steve McGuire. I'll end with a quote that, I love this quote, it's so simple. If the people lead, the leaders will follow. Mr. Toastmaster.